Hey guys, welcome back. You're about to see an interview of me and a walk around of the GTO done by Restomods. Restomods is a company that actually raffles off Restomodded cars every 3 to 4 months. I'm a member of their club. You can buy merchandise from them and that gets you into the drawing. But I owe special thanks to them because they're allowing me to use their footage on this video. So if you haven't done so, subscribe because I have some really cool projects lined up for the GTO that I'm going to be airing soon. And I actually drop a hint in this interview of what it is. So if you hear it, leave a comment below. I'm pretty excited about it. So kick back, enjoy, and until next time, build them fast, drive them faster. See ya.
What's going on, Restomods? It's Mike here, and I am here with Mike from Fast Monty's Garage.
Wait, hold on a second. It's not a professional shop.
Not a professional
That's just
shop.
my home garage.
Just your
And
garage.
I started a YouTube channel just to, how to work on cars like that.
This man built this 1969 GTO in his garage, and we're gonna take a detailed look at it. So Mike, we saw this car at Quarantine Cruise, and we had to get a hold of you. Thank you for bringing it in today. Tell us a little bit about this thing. I know there's an incredible story behind it.
Appreciate that, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, this is a very unique thing to me and my family because my dad bought this car brand new when he was in the Navy. And when I was born, I was taken home from the hospital in it. Same with my sister. I learned to drive on this car in high school. It's a 4-speed. It was a 4-speed. It's no longer a 4-speed,
Awesome.
but it was a 4-speed at the time. And then when I got the opportunity to rebuild it, I said, it's time.
Awesome.
And because, it's worth it to our family. And frankly, I've never done it before.
Okay.
So a lot of the work I put into this car is a lot of rework.
So you're saying this is the first car that you have ever restored?
Correct.
And you did what amount of work on this car? How far did you
I
go?
did everything
Wow.
except upholstering the seats.
Okay.
And
So
redoing the dashboard.
I think you mentioned to me that you painted this car in your garage.
I did.
Guys, I don't know if you can see the paint job on this car. It looks black. I didn't even know the car is actually, what would you call it? 2 a.m.
2 a.m. green.
Not quite midnight green, a little bit past midnight green. It looks black from the first glance, and if you really get in there, it's got an incredible green, kind of a glow to it almost.
Yeah, it's got some
extremely
pearl
subtle.
in it actually.
Some pearl,
So,
okay.
It's the original color from the factory is midnight green with gold interior, and I said I want a little darker, so that's why I call it 2 a.m. green.
And I love it. I think it really complements that gold interior. And like I said, I thought the car was black, and so now that you see that, it really complements it perfectly.
Oh yeah,
I love the look of it. So let's start on the outside. You said you painted this thing in your garage. How did that come about?
Well, it came about because all the rust I found on all the quarter panels, because my dad bought it in Alabama, because it's flight schools in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yep.
And all 4 quarter panels are rusted out, but I didn't figure that out until I had the whole thing acid dipped.
Oh no.
And yeah, it came back and there was this metal missing. So any of you have done acid dipping before? There's just nothing there.
Yeah.
If there's rust.
So you just got holes in quarter
And that's
panels
yeah,
that
that's
were
when I learned
previously
how to
quarter
weld.
panels. Oh man, all right.
Taught myself how to weld, so
Okay.
it was terrible shape. So I did all the body work, all the welding, and then I started getting quotes for paint.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking Earl Scheib, I'm thinking, that'd be $700,
Yeah.
$1,000.
$1,000.
I was getting price tags of 25 grand plus question mark.
Wow.
You got to be kidding me.
We'll get in there and see, and then we'll tell you how
Yeah,
much it is.
right. So then I just started Googling it,
Okay.
going on YouTube and everything, and come on, it can't be that hard,
Yeah.
right? So the answer is, painting is not hard.
Okay.
The body work and prep is extremely
Everything
difficult,
else.
and sanding
Yep.
and making a royal mess. So.
Wow. So whereabouts were our rust spots on this car? I mean, obviously, I look at this car, I had no idea this was your first restoration. It looks absolutely immaculate to me. So point us out to where that stuff was.
The standard spots on an old car
Okay.
are right behind the tires.
Yep.
On the quarter panels. Now what I didn't know was most of the window channels were rotted out, front and rear, especially the rear, especially on A-body cars. The water doesn't drain very well
Yep.
on the back corner. So those were full rebuilt corners I made. You know, hammering metal on a beater bag and shaping the metal and welding it in. That's just nuts.
So you just dove headfirst into this project. You know, you did some research. I mean, if your option is $25,000 for bodywork and paint, and you're like, well, I think I can do this. You just said,
Yeah, I said, what the hell? I mean,
Cool.
I can't make it worse.
what's the worst that can happen here? I have to go take it and spend that money anyways, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. If
So-
I mess it up that bad, then I'll pay someone.
So you learned how to weld.
Yep.
You learned how to paint.
Yep.
And then, so how much time was spent on the bodywork and the paint of this car?
Oh man, it was about a year and a half. The reason I had to take it apart 12 or 15 or 18 times, I've probably forgotten, is that every time you line up a panel, you got to make sure your gaps are right. And if you look at a brand new GTO off the assembly line, the gaps are going to be bigger than this.
Okay.
Right.
Just straight off the factory.
Yeah, it looks kind of ridiculous if you're trying to build a really nice
Of course.
Restomod.
Yep.
And most of my time was spent in actually shaving the bumper to match the fender on top and bottom. That's why this whole corner
And it
is just
perfect now.
perfect.
Yeah. So 15 times was
15
all it took to
times.
get
I don't
it
know,
like that.
man.
There you go, guys. If you got bad body panels, you only got to do it 15 times to get it right, and you have it absolutely perfect. Oh man.
No, you just don't. What?
What am I doing? Oh, finger.
Then you scratched it with your shirt.
Oh, jeez. Fired. All right, so insane amounts of bodywork once you started actually painting the car. So, I mean, the process of paint is obviously not very easy. Tell us a little bit about that, where you started, so obviously sanding.
Just painting. Okay, so painting took a day.
A day?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's called wet on wet. So you paint the base. This is after doing all the primers
All
and
the
sanding.
primers.
You're all
Okay,
ready,
okay.
right?
All
so
that, yes.
Just one day,
Yep.
you do the base, you let it dry for an hour, and then you do the clear. And I have different levels of clear. So, you know, top surfaces, I probably have 6 layers of clear, and probably 3 to 4 on the sides. Now that's done. If you want orange peel or not,
Yeah, of
that's the
course.
big debate,
Yep.
right?
No, we don't.
Depending, right? So depending on the gun you're using, will determine how much orange peel you're going to get.
Okay.
Well, see, this is all stuff I learned after the process. But
Ah.
the gun I had was a good gun.
Okay.
It wasn't as good as the current, you know, high-tech guns they have now. So I did a lot of color sanding
Okay.
to get all the orange peel off.
There was some orange peel.
Oh, that was ridiculous. So
So about how many times we have to do this? Not 12, 15 though, right? Just detail work on little spots.
oh, you just start front to rear and just
do
go
the
at it. So I
whole-
did that for about 6 months.
Wow.
And then you got to polish it.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, it's just
So you got a painted car that you're just going over and over and over, and then 6 months of correction, basically, and then polish this baby, and then you had it looking like this.
correct. Didn't come out that right away.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So in the whole process of color sanding or using an orbital sander, I burnt through the panel
Oh no.
once or twice.
Once or twice.
I can't
okay.
tell you really.
Just a
but-
couple of times. All right.
Yeah, but there's some rework involved
All right.
because it's my first time.
First
But-
time, yeah.
But hey, now the beauty of it is, if I should, God forbid, ever get scratched or dented, I can fix it
You know
myself.
exactly what you're doing.
I know what
But
paint.
that's the beauty of it, is you took the long route, you learned how to do it yourself, and you didn't just settle for what it was. You know, you put in the work to make it perfect, and it looks perfect to me. I know you said there's spots, but dude, I don't see any of them, and I'm not gonna let you point them out because I'll never see them. Only you see those.
All I'll
so-
tell you is there's some mosquitoes that are halfway shaved.
Okay, hey, I don't see the mosquitoes, so
So you probably noticed on the driver's seat, the headrest has the Navy Wings logo,
okay.
and on the passenger seat has a squadron logo. That happens to be my dad's squadron when he was in the Navy,
Awesome.
because he bought the car in flight school, right?
Cool.
He had a Navy Wings license plate on the front. But on the front, on a 68 and 69 GTO, this is actually a rectangular metal ugly boss that you put the license plate on.
Okay, for the front lights.
Yeah,
Got
so
it.
my dad had the Navy Wings there. I don't like front license plates on my sports cars. So I cut that out, and I made this out of one piece of metal on a beater bag. welded it in, repainted it. I was showing it off to my dad, and all he can say is, "Where'd the wings go?" So I felt terrible, but that's how I came up with the seat idea, right? When I had the seats reupholstered, I didn't do that work. The company that did it actually had a laser engraving method to put that in the headrest. I'm like, do it, that would be perfect. And so when my dad finally saw that, he cried. So I'm gonna cry talking about it, but he doesn't cry, right? So it was awesome.
I mean, it's an incredible story, the fact that it was, originally bought by him, and like you said, your entire life has been lived with this.
I have to pinch myself a lot because, I'm very fortunate. My dad had good taste in cars.
Incredible taste.
Right? This isn't, nothing against Mustang fans, but it's not a 65 Mustang, right?
There you go.
I mean, it's something rare. It's not super rare that I can't get parts, but it's pretty close. And you don't see them often, so it's pretty cool.
So as far as suspension, wheels, brakes, obviously these are upgraded. You want to tell us a little bit about all of that?
Yeah, no worries. The wheels are an MHT wheel, and when I found them, I fell in love because they look like the original rally wheel, just bigger. And I said, that's perfect, because I wanted to keep the theme Pontiac, right? I didn't want to go crazy, but I wanted it modern. So the fronts are 19 by 8.5. Wow. They're actually too small.
Yeah.
I want to go wider.
There we go.
So that's the next step for me.
Okay.
But the brakes are 14-inch Willwoods on the front, 6-piston calipers. The rears are 20 by 10, and with 13-inch Willwood disc brakes.
Wow.
The other thing on the wheels is the PMD logo. That's standard from an original GTO, but I had to machine that center so that PMD logo would fit.
Very cool.
And the suspension is all Global West, coilovers, front and rear. It's dropped about 3 inches, which comes with its own amount of pain, like speed bumps don't cooperate. So,
especially with those big tires and big wheels and
especially with the headers hanging out.
And the headers hanging out, of course.
Yeah.
But it definitely has an insane stance, and I love those wheels. Classic, but modern.
The other thing I didn't point out on the paint or the bodywork was I deleted the locks. If you look on the trunk lid, there's no lock.
Very clean.
And that's something that is a Chip Foose trick, right? He just simplifies it. Still have the door handles, but no locks.
Cool.
Right? So everything's, remote control, and just makes it nice and clean.
Little details, man.
Yeah.
Set it off for sure.
LED tail lights, they actually blink like when you...
Sequential?
Yeah,
very
sequential.
Cool. Awesome. All right, let's take a look under the hood of this thing. The moment we've all been waiting for. You were telling us it is the original 400 block.
Yeah.
Original block that was in this car
from the factory.
When your dad bought it brand new.
That's right.
All right, let's pop this thing. Let's take a look at it now. Wow, it's definitely not stock. That ain't the original engine at all, man.
Well, the only thing stock in here is actually the block.
Okay.
And the timing chain cover. Everything else has been modernized, right? So when I grew up on the car and learned to drive on it, it had the multiple belts. It's an AC car, it had 4 belts. You throw one belt, you throw them all.
Oh, yeah. That
whole drill, that happened to me many times. So I wanted to modernize it to eliminate the belt problem. Mm-hmm. So serpentine kit had to go on. So that's a March serpentine system with AC, so modern AC. The original AC had this huge, ugly suitcase.
Okay.
So I just went with a vintage air system, so it's under the dash, running R134. But the cool thing about this motor is that it's all Butler performance. So those of you that know Pontiac, it's a Butler performance spec motor I built. So it's now a 467 with a roller cam. It's still carbureted. I think one of my dreams next to add to this car would be a Phytech,
EFI?
system, the EFI system. But this is dynoed at 515 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque on the flywheel.
Wow. It's pretty far from stock.
It
looks incredible.
It's a ton of fun to drive. But recently, I just upgraded the transmission.
Okay.
And I actually documented the whole thing on my YouTube channel because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
So now I have a Tremec TKO 600 in there.
Awesome.
So I have overdrive.
Wow.
Now I can go on the freeway at 75 miles an hour at 2,000 RPM. recommend that.
So upgraded the whole drivetrain.
Got to.
You got yourself a
I still have the original rear end. So I still have the original 10-volt rear end.
Wow.
So when that pops,
Yeah,
that'll be the time I'll build.
No issues with that extra power? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I haven't pushed it.
But, okay.
I do plan on autocrossing it.
Cool.
So.
Wow, that would be impressive.
Because it's built for that. I mean, it's got suspension is awesome. On ramps and off ramps are just a blast.
I bet. Beautiful.
Modernized, I can get it for an old ass 50-year-old motor.
And you're keeping the soul in there though, the soul of the original car. I mean, the story behind it, you don't want to change it too much. You don't want to pull the block. And you know, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was the intent.
Awesome. So when you roll up, you can't miss this color of the interior. And so is this all original?
It's the original color.
Original color?
Yeah, but all brand new upholstery.
Wow.
Everything's been changed up to brand new. But the color is from the factory. The dash was probably the most troublesome, and I had to hire a professional to do the dash work.
Okay.
It's padded. The only thing that's different is the steering wheel.
Wow.
So when I did the Tremec swap, I put a Hurst shifter in, just like it was originally.
So you learned to drive into pretty much the same interior as you're driving it today.
That's a good point.
And you were brought home in pretty much the same exact interior.
Yeah, right back there.
That's incredible.
I mean, my sister and I used to fight all the time in those back seats.
Yeah.
I remember driving to Disneyland and my dad blew a radiator hose.
Dude,
That's just like stupid memories like that.
That's insane. I can't even wrap my head around that, man. That's so special to have this. You know, it's a visual. It's a memory. You know, and you can drive it and you can enjoy it. And this thing is very special, man. And this interior looks incredible. I'm honestly, I want to thank you for not making it all black. You know, keeping it the original color, because you kind of lose those original pieces of cars like this. So I love what you did here and keeping that original color and, you know, the originalness of this thing. Now I have to hear this thing. Can you please crank it over for me?
With or without cutouts?
Oh, I want to hear them both. I want to hear them both. Absolutely. That's what I love to hear. Mike, thank you so much for bringing this thing in. It is incredible. Can you tell the people here where we can see all the work you've done on this build and wherever you take it from here?
I appreciate that, Mike. So I have a YouTube channel called Fast Monty's Garage. That's Monty with a Y. I also have a channel on Instagram. If you are interested in learning how to do this work at home, my YouTube channel is the spot to be at, because I do a ton of how-to videos, including putting that Tremec TKO in, which I had never done before. So it's actually quite entertaining. So that's where you can find me. I'll see you soon.
Dude, this thing is incredible. Again, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Guys out there, if you want your chance to win a muscle car.
Wait. Not this one.
Yeah, not this one. This one is not for sale ever. Mike, ever. Don't ever sell this thing.
No.
Guys, you can win our 1964 Corvette right now. Head over to Restomods.com, join the Restomods Car Club, or get yourself an awesome shirt like this Car Guy shirt, and you could be our next winner to take home your dream car or $50,000. Thanks, guys.